Marginal rates are going to go up in 2013, the top rate, and then it was about 35 to 39.6%, right? And then you're going to add, under the president's plan, was a 5.6 surtax. So that would put the top marginal rate at 45.2.
For a very tiny fraction of Americans, though.
But at the top marginal rate, okay? And then you add to that, in addition, I guess the health care law has, but let's just leave that one out and say the top rate would be about 45. And your testimony is you think that the top marginal rate being at 45 when you add the surtax would have no impact on job creation? Would it make it easier?
Very. I mean, economists, don't agree on anything. But if you ask economists what they think, it depends on where they sit in the political spectrum. But I think if you look at CBO's judgment, look at them as independent arbiter of the economics for the Congress, you'll find that those set of tax proposals would have very small impact on growth. You have to look at them relative to the alternatives. And if you leave the economy with unsustainable fiscal deficits as far as the eye can see, or if you're cutting spending further to support those low tax rates for upper-income Americans, that would, over time, be more damaging to economic growth and less fair.
Well, I think CBO is great and economists are great. What about the people that create jobs? For example, NFIB, the National Federation of Independent Businesses, says the surtax is a job killer. Are they wrong?
Yes, because what they're suggesting is that, again, we got difficult choices, and we have to govern and make choices.
But their opinion of the surtax, the manufacturers say the same thing. The National Association of Manufacturers says it's a job killer. They're wrong as well?
Any business that faces a proposal from Congress to raise taxes will oppose that proposal and say it will kill jobs.
Right.
That's their job, and that's what the job of the association.
What about this? This is a quote from the president. He said, "The last thing you want to do is raise taxes in the middle of a recession, because that would just suck up, that would take more demand out of the economy and put business in a further hole."
That's right. And one of the reasons why, one of the reasons why this Jobs Act before Congress is so important is because if you don't act on these proposals, then taxes will go up not in 13, they'll go up at the end of 2011. So in 3 months...
Yeah, but the president stood behind the concept that raising taxes in the middle of a recession hurts business and hurts job creation.
But the president's proposed...
I have the quote. So what's changed since he said that?
Good question, but give me a chance to respond. The proposals before the Congress today would lower taxes on all Americans that have a job and virtually all businesses across the country. If you don't enact those proposals, taxes will be higher in the beginning of 2012 than the others would be. Now, the proposals we've made to raise taxes would only take effect at the end of 2012, and they would only apply to a tiny fraction of Americans. Now, we're open to other ways to think about how we make sure we pay for things governments have to do, but we're not going to be able to dig our way out of these deficits without thinking about tax changes that raise revenue over time.
Well, two quick things. I know I'm over time.
One more question.
This statement that the president made, and when he made it, was made in the context of an interview where he was bragging about the fact we weren't raising taxes on anybody.
Well, we've lowered taxes. We've lowered taxes for everybody, and we're proposing to lower them further.
He made that statement in the context of we're not raising taxes on anybody. What has changed? And that's what he was bragging about when he said this.
No,
when he said this, the unemployment rate was at 9.7. Now it's at 9.1. So are we now doing so much better economically that we can afford taxing?
No, it is a very tough economy, and I would differ not at all from how you characterize how hard this economy is right now.